here so much to talk about public policy and so forth, rather to give a talk that I hope you'll find somewhat uplifting, because I know how much time you spend at doing this, and sometimes it can feel like a grind, and sometimes you need a little pat on the back and a little encouragement to keep going. So think of this as hopefully a fun talk, something that gets you going, gives you food to think, and at the end of the hour, at the end of the half hour, gives you an interest in continuing the fight, which we all need to do. How many of you have ever heard of or read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill? Okay, he wrote it back in 1937. He interviewed something like 500 different businessmen and successful leaders, people like Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Ford, those sorts of people, to distill the key qualities of leadership. And in talking about that, he identified 5 aspects of leadership which in 1937 they felt was very important to have. And I think as I read through these 5 things, you'll find that they sound vaguely familiar and that we need them today. First, in the field of politics, there's a most insistent demand for new leaders, a demand which indicates nothing less than an emergency. Sounds like today. Second, the banking business is undergoing reform. Well, I'd say that it's certainly undergoing reform these days too. Third, industry calls for new leaders. The future leader in industry to endure must regard himself as a quasi-public official. Well, with the issues with Chick-fil-A, I think Mr. DeVos with Amway has been attacked, certainly Mitt Romney and Bain Capital. You pretty much have to be a quasi-public official if you're going to be a business leader these days, it seems. Fourth, the religious leaders of the future will be forced to give more attention to the temporal needs of his followers. Fifth, in the professions of law, medicine, and education, a new brand of leadership, and to some extent, new leaders will become necessary. This is especially true in the field of education. And so for those who were around for the fight of Goals 2000 in the 90s, outcome-based education, and now Common Core, it sounds like it's all right there. I would add one more thing, though. I think that these things, politics, banking, business, religion, and education, we need to add to that the need for moral, godly leaders. We need men and women who, like the sons of Issachar, understood the times and knew what Israel should do. That's from 1 Chronicles 12:32. And so that is where we find ourselves in terms of looking at leadership and things of that nature.